Hey, what's going on, y'all? Taha Photo here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about how I create mood and mystery in my photos. So let's go. Okay, so before we get into the video, let's just talk about that style, mood, and mystery. It's really based on a feeling that you get when you're taking your photos. And that's based on the conditions, your camera settings, and your subject matter. And for myself, I've been shooting like this for years. I naturally gravitated towards foggy days, shooting at night, using puddles and reflection. These are all things that I was doing at the beginning just because it felt right. And then I realized I can enhance that or improve on that if I knew my settings, if I did a little bit of planning, and if I had a great story to tell. Actually, that's how the hashtag Streetsoul came to be. The soul of the street was the best way I could describe my photography to myself. But of course, there's many styles that you can try, and I encourage you actually to try them all. So there's like bright and clean, there's dreamy, there's cold, there's warm. Once you've tried them all, then you kind of start to see which ones resonate most with you or relate to the way you want to shoot. Okay, so number one, the conditions. So the first thing I'm going to do is check the weather app. This is going to tell me what the weather is going to be like for that day. Rainy, foggy, sunny. And then after that, I'm going to check sunrise, sunset. What time of day do I want to shoot? For example, on sunny days, my emphasis would be on shadows and using them to emphasize emotion and really tell that story based on contrast and texture. Another example would be if it was a rainy night, my focus would be on puddles and reflections and neon lights and storefront lights and street lights. Anything that's going to play off of the wet ground, anything that's going to show an emotional connection to the story I'm trying to tell. Okay, number two, the camera settings. Now, with the right camera settings, you can help bring your vision to life. And based on the conditions, I use certain camera settings to help create that mood and mystery that I'm going for. Now, I tend to shoot in aperture priority mode, which basically means I'm in control of the f-stop. So I usually shoot wide open, 2.8, and I let the camera do the rest. So the camera is going to control the shutter speed based on how much light is out there in the scene. So I don't have to think, I can just get out there and shoot. Another camera setting that really creates that emotion or mysteriousness in your photos is shutter speed. And basically, if you can slow down your shutter speed, you'll get that blur effect in a lot of your photos. Or you can do a long exposure, maybe like 1 second or 2 seconds, and get those nice light streaks. Then you probably want a tripod, but you could also use your arm as a tripod and then use your shooting hand as the camera shutter. So last and most importantly, finding the right subject/story. So how do you know when you have the right subject or story? Well, you got to look at your surroundings. You know, what is it about this scene that will tell a story in just one image? Is it an object in the scene that's special or standing out? Is it a landscape? Is it a background? What is it about the scene that is pulling you in as the photographer? So one of the ways that I like to create mood and mystery when I'm trying to tell this story is to hide their faces or even shoot from behind. Maybe you're using the shadows to block their face. Something in the foreground, that's another great way, is when you're shooting and you have something like a pole or a tree or an object that just crosses in the foreground of your subject. This way your viewer is forced to ask questions. And that's one of the things that I love about photography, is creating a story in one image, thinking and moving with intention when you're taking these photos, knowing that your viewer is going to sit there and stare at this image and wonder, who is this person? How did they get there? And honestly, bring it back to their own life and relate it back to them, all because of this image that you created. Look, there's so many ways that you can create mood and mystery in your photos. This is just how I achieve it. But one thing's for certain, you got to get out there and experiment and try again. That's how you're going to find out the style that you like and the mood that you want to create. Leave some comments, let me know what you think, and until the next video, peace.